Good evening and welcome back. It's been a while since I've been in here. Of course, if you've been following me, you know that I've been writing and getting things done for the book. So, last time we were here, we were looking at our wonderful character, and I think we have crouching set up. Now, I was going to do a video in between this one and the one that we're going to do now, which was showing you how to manually set up the crouch, but I'm going to save that for later because I know folks are more interested in learning how to do the sword swing anyway. So, and we already have a crouch, so here we are. Of course I can jump, and I can crouch, and I can sprint. Right. So from here, we're going to very quickly set up our sword animation, which we should have already imported from the previous tutorial. If you didn't do that yet, make sure you go back and check out the tutorial on how to get your animation created and imported. If you're all set and ready to go, let's move forward. So I'm going to go down to, let's see, my character sword swing, and let's see what I have here. Here it is. So that's him. Full bam. It's more like he's flailing a club, but close enough. I'll go ahead and stop that. Let's open up our blueprints. We're going to go to animation blueprint, and I'm going to grab my Bubba animation blueprint here. We have the idle walk, but we want the main one, the little orange tag that's there. Hi, kitten. And we open up. Mine dropped us right into our state machine, which is fine. If you don't remember how to get here from your animation graph, we have our state machine and kind of pop back in there. So your attack can really come off of your state machine in any way that you like, and you can actually do this in a few different ways. You can make a separate state machine altogether to handle attacks and then branch off of that, which is if you're going to do a... Yes, kitten. Hi. Oh yeah? Really? If you're going to do a montage for your attack, it's easier to just do the other with a separate piece. But I'm just going to go ahead and create a simple one and pull this off from my idle walk. And let's go ahead and just do an add state. I'll just call this attack. And you can have your attack happen from anything if you want to. In my case, I don't really care to attack from jump. But if you had a special attack from when you were jumping, then you could do a separate one there. So I'm going to jump into my attack, grab my attacking animation. Where are you at? Do, sword swing, sword swing. Here this is. And I don't want this to loop, so over to my right, I'll grab where it says looping. Let's uncheck that. And then when I compile, I'm going to get this warning that says, hey, I don't know how to get from the state machine to there, so I jump back into this. And you can see we have the rule, so I'll go ahead and open that up. So to get to from our idle walk to our attack, we just want a variable that can see if we are attacking. So I'm going to go ahead and create a variable. I'll just call this is attacking. I'll drop that in. And then I'll go back to my state machine. And we do want to get back from our attack to our idle. So I'll go back to there. And this is going to be when our attack is finished. So let's go ahead and do a time remaining ratio. Off of here, I'll do when there's less than or equal to, I'll say 10%. Again, you can pick a different frame value or a different percentage, whichever makes your animation look smoother. I'll just plug that in. So that gets us from there to there. Let's check out our animation graph. Now for our animation graph, we need a variable from our player for when he's attacking. So let's go to our player's blueprint. So blueprints, character, I'll open up Bubba. And let's see, we've got all this stuff. I'll make a new spot. I'll press C, bring up a comment. I'll call this attack. And I should have a button set up but I think I actually left it off. So let me go up to Edit and Project Settings. just to make sure I have the button. I'm going to go down to input, and this is going to be under action mapping. So I have my jump, my crouch, my sprint, but I don't have my attack. So I'll hit the button, and you can name this whatever you want. You can call it attack, you can call it sword swing, you can call it guard, or whichever. I'm just going to do attack. This is going to be melee attack. Melee attack. Awesome. And for my melee attack, I'm going to do that off of my left mouse button. So under mouse, I'm going to do, oh, not motion, mouse. And then left mouse button. Close that. So now in here, I'll do my melee attack. And whenever I hit the button, I need to check 2 different scenarios, but we'll do only one for now. So I just want to say is attacking. And then this will be true. And then when we are not hitting the button, actually we won't do that. We're just going to set this for now. Hit compile. And then from here we want to go back to our animation blueprint and tell this to talk to that that button, or that variable, sorry. So I'm going to go ahead and drag this off. I'm going to do set is, actually we're going to get the attacking, sorry. Get is attacking from the player. So let's add this to here. And then we're going to set the is attacking variable from here. So now I can swing, and you can see he takes that step forward, but I can't attack again, and I'm still stuck sort of in my position. So we have to get out of here, right? And the reason we're kind of stuck is our is attacking variable is still set to true. So I'm going to go ahead and come back out. So what I need to do is figure out how long my attack is going to run, and then tell it to stop attacking. So to do that, I'm going to come down to my animations. Where are you at? Animations. And here's my attack swing with the sword. And if I look on here, there's actually down where it says sequence length. My sequence length is currently 0.458333. So I'm going to take that time. I'm going to fire off a delay. And that was 0.458333. And then this is going to do the delay, and when the delay is finished, it's going to set our is attacking to false. So now when I hit play, boom, and now I can go back to walking. And you can see that as I'm walking, I can attack, which is nice. I get that extra lunge forward, because that's how I animated it. Now, I don't want to slide, so if you find that your character is sliding, you can prevent that by disabling movement. So I'm going to go back to the blueprint here, and we can go ahead and expand this out just a little bit. If you don't want your character to move after the attack, you can do a stop movement immediately. And then after you call stop movement immediately, you'll probably notice that you can still slide a little bit. So let's go ahead and check. So it does get me a hesitated stop, but I do slide a little bit more. And then we also want to disable input, so disable input. Then compile that. So now, whoops, once I swing, it stops me from moving. But now I'm stuck, right? So I have to go back and tell it to allow me to move after that. So once this is done, I'm going to set movement mode, and this will be back to walking. And then lastly, I want to re-enable input, so I'll do enable input. So now he stops and does the attack and waits for me to respond before doing something else. Now the reason you can see as I swing, my character steps forward and then slides back, that has to do with the root bone being in the center of the map. So if I go back to my sword swing, I'm going to go ahead and position. I'll pause this so you can see. I'll grab that pelvis. Now there's a root bone. Unreal actually creates a root bone by default, right down there. And you can see as the character steps forward, the root bone does not move. So when it gets back to the loop, it starts him back here. Normally to get around this in Maya or whatever program that you're working in, you just create your own root bone and then handle that root motion. Since we didn't do that, we kind of have to do it through here. It's going to be sloppy because we didn't make one. So I'm going to go back to asset details. I'm going to scroll down, and then we have the enable root motion. So go ahead and check that. And let's see, off of reference pose, that's fine. So now when I step, you'll see that there is no motion here. Go ahead and save that real quick. I have to go back to Bubba, my animation blueprint, and then under the assets, like preview editor, if I go there and come down to root motion. Right now the root motion is set from montage. I'm going to go ahead and set this to root motion from everything. And then you do have to apply the changes, so I'll apply and compile. So now when I take that step, he'll step forward. Now you have to be careful when you're using the root motion, and you because if you rotate, if your character rotates off axis, he'll get stuck that way. So it's important that when you export your character from Maya that you have the root bone already created without rotation. So don't ever rotate or turn it when you are trying to utilize the root bone motion. But for our case, it should be okay. We should be able to get away with it and not have to worry about him tilting. But if you notice your character's tilting weird, that's why. You'll have to go back and make the root bone and just make sure you manually update it. But that'll work for now. And then the other thing I want to do is make sure that I can't attack again and again and again. Now you can see that because I have the delay on there, the delay is acting like a mechanism to prevent me from swinging a second time, which is nice. But for extra added padding, let's go ahead, open up our animation. Or sorry, open up the blueprint for Bubba. And we can actually add a variable in here for can attack. Like I said, this delay is actually operating so that we can't enter this twice. But just so that we don't have an issue, let's say the delay was shorter and your animation was quicker, we can actually set up a little bit of a prevention here. So we'll do a branch, and off of the branch we just do this. We'll say if is attacking is currently false, then we can set is attacking to true, and it can run through this cycle so that we can't keep clicking it until it is finished. play, and now I can only hit once. I have to wait for for it to be completely done. And I can't attack in the air because I didn't set that up. So that's how you can set up the basic attack for your character for swinging with one weapon. In the next tutorial, I'm going to show you how to make a weapon and put it in his hand. And then later on down the line, we'll look at doing a montage where you can have you can swing and then do the next attack animation after that. So hopefully you've had a good time with this. It's been educational for you, and I will see you in the next video. Don't forget to save your work.